What up, people? How's everybody? Happy Saturday. This is the day, y'all. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in this day. Today, we got a special show. Before I get going too far, I'm Kamari Ellis. This is the Finance Rebel Show. Every Saturday, we do our Wealthy Conversation segment. All right, and so this Saturday is going to be a hot one. It's going to be lit. Today, I got a special guest, y'all, so I expect y'all all to be on your best behavior. All right. Boricua Reina is going to be joining us shortly. And we're going to talk about her career, her life, how she got to where she is. She's a power lifter, business owner, vegan, like so many different things that are so kind of contrasting and not necessarily in alignment of what we normally think about things, but we'll be able to break all that down. So as we get going today, you know, we always have to do our market rundown. We always have to do kind of a who's who and what's going on in the financial markets this week. And this week is a pretty interesting week. All right, so as we get going, and we get the party started, this week was an interesting week. So the S&P 500 closed out at 3,841. All right, up on the week about 0.8% or a little under 1%. And year to date, stock market's up as we're judging it by the S&P 500 by 2.29%. So market's up. Oil closed at $68.28. Oil is running up about 10% for the week. And year to date, since the beginning of the year, oil has been up or is up 36%. Oil's up 36%. So gold, this is interesting, y'all. Gold is at $16.98, down 1.75% for the week. We're seeing gold continue to fall. It's really, really interesting. But gold is down 10.87% year to date. And it's my guess that gold's probably going to continue to fall. We're seeing, a lot of things kind of in motion. We're seeing money is in movement. Money is moving to the stock market, moving out of gold, moving out of Fed bonds, and moving into things like oil, right? We're seeing oil starting to jump up. So that's showing, right? That's showing that the economy and investors overall are thinking that things are going to get more heated up. And we also saw a lower unemployment rate. So a higher employment rate. So more people are going to work. So again, this is really interesting what's going on right now. We're seeing the 10-year Treasury bond is starting to rise. It's not actually starting, it's been rising. And so the Treasury rate is at, the 10-year Treasury rate is at about 1.58%. Now you're probably like, well, why is that important? Well, it's important because everything's kind of pegged off of that. And when I say everything is pegged off of that, I'm talking about things like the mortgage rates, credit card rates, any kind of financial instrument that leverages interest, it's pegged off of the 10-year. So that matters greatly. It matters greatly. All right. So Bitcoin's falling a little bit, right? It's still up in that meteoric rate, up in the atmosphere at $47,772. So it's still up there, still high. A lot of people have been clowning Elon Musk this week. I don't know if I would call it clowning, but they said he lost about $27 billion in overall value this week. $27 billion. Why? Some people sold out of Tesla stock since they declared this whole Bitcoin movement, Bitcoin position in Tesla. We're also seeing it kind of being pegged to the Bitcoin a little bit. So Bitcoin stock fell, Bitcoin fell, Tesla stock fell. And so a lot of Elon Musk's wealth is tied to the performance of his overall stock. So that fell as well to the tune of about 27 billion. But listen, Elon has like a whole church behind him, a whole tabernacle. So I'm sure he will continue to make money some way, somehow in the short-term future. All right. So those folks that are down in Capitol Hill are still fighting over stimulus. Looks like they're making some progress though. But here's the thing. They're making a lot of changes to this bill. So it was in Congress first. Now it's in Senate. Not more than likely, the changes that they're making in Senate will have to go back to Congress before it's finalized. But they're saying that we're going to get some movement on it really quick. Now, I bring it up because that's tied to that $1,400 stimulus check that everybody is so excited about. But more importantly, right, there's some other things going on as well, i.e. taxes. So now they're talking about giving an exclusion to people that got unemployment benefits. And when I say exclusion, I'm talking about giving them a break on paying taxes on their unemployment benefits. So a lot of people got unemployment benefits last year and didn't realize that they had to pay taxes on it. I find it hard to believe because you've always had to pay taxes on unemployment. If you were ever claimed unemployment, you always had to pay taxes on it. But I guess this year is a little bit different. So at any rate, that's one of the things that they're looking at. They're looking at giving exclusion or a break of $10,200 up until people make about $150,000. So if you have $150,000 of income, you got unemployment, about $10,200 is being proposed. It's not law yet. But they're proposing that they will give people an exclusion, basically saying you won't have to pay tax on that $10,000. Nothing's in stone yet. As always with the stock market, as always with the political realm, nothing's in stone because everybody likes to play politics. Everybody likes to try to position themselves to get more and do more. So it's going to be interesting. I think we'll probably get this done over the next week or so, but who knows? With all that said, I would say this. If you got unemployment benefits, I would probably wait to file your taxes. There's no need in rushing because more than likely, if this goes through, then you'll have to do what's called an amendment. You'll have to do an amendment. You'll have to change the taxes that you already put through. And guess what? More than likely, if you're paying somebody, if you're paying a professional, that's going to cost you more money. So just wait, be patient. You got some more time. You got, what are we at? Like 40 days, I think, until December. No, man, I'm messing up all my dates. I think we have about 40 days until April 15th, which is the end of tax season as we know it, unless they change it. But guess what? There is a bill, or there has been recommendations made to drop or change the tax filing date, just like they did last year. Doesn't make me excited at all. I feel like tax season is a season that never ends. It's never ending. But who knows? I don't know what's going to happen, folks. All right, so real quick, I got one more piece. I'm waiting on our guests to come, but just wanted to say hello to everybody. Don Johnson's in the building. How are you? Miss Edith's here. How you doing, Miss Edith? Jose. What's up, Jose? All right. It's okay, Miss Edith. You said good morning. It's really afternoon. We know you running on that special time. It's Saturday time. Game of kick the can when it comes to politics. Yep. Yes, it is. So, it feels like, going politics, and I've said this before, right? That they don't actually care about the people. All they care is about positioning and power. And you can tell that just by the shenanigans people do. And it's really sad, but here's the real deal. Here's the real thing. A lot of these people, especially a lot of the Republicans in these states, some of the Democrats too, I think both parties are trash, especially as it relates to black folks. People keep voting them in. People don't hold them accountable. And so you can't expect anything to change if the people don't change. I know we always want to advocate responsibility and say that it's the fault of the elected officials, it's the fault of politicians. But what about the people? The people are the power. The people are the real power, right? So if you want to see change, you got to go to the booths and change, and not just go to the booth, right? You have to fund these politicians who you feel are good and get rid of the ones who are bad, and also going directly to our communities as well and doing things to help our communities out. So that's just my take on it. Listen, it's just my opinion. You know, take it or leave it. I don't mean no harm, no foul. Just sharing. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. All right. Mr. Allen, good afternoon to you, sir. All right, Ms. Edith says this morning. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I don't know if the people really want me to keep it real. I don't know. But it's all good. I think so just being honest, right? Sometimes I wonder what people really want. Do they want me to put all the pizzazz and the sexiness and basically lie to y'all? Or would you rather get the truth? And again, this is all from my perspective. All from my perspective. All right, so listen, the big news of the week, in my opinion, the stock of the week also, right? So the stock of the week is Square. Can anybody guess why I'm saying Square is the stock of the week? All right, so the big news of this week was Tidal. If anybody listens to Tidal, I'm a big fan of Tidal, right? Tidal, before I get going on this, Tidal, I don't want to say no names because everybody focuses on the personalities. But Tidal is a great, how can I say this? Is a great example of group economics, right? Tidal is a great example of group economics. Now, y'all know who I'm going to talk about. Jigga Man, Hova, Jay-Z, everybody announced that Square is buying Tidal for almost $300 million. Now, Jay-Z and friends, not just Jay-Z, but Jay-Z and friends, Rihanna, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, and a few others went in, and I believe it was like 2015, and they brought Tidal for about 56 million, 50 some odd million, a bunch of millions, right? They, along the way, they sold about 33% to Sprint for like several hundred millions. I want to say there was another 200 some odd million that they got for that. And now this week, Square brought Tidal, or majority stake in Tidal, for almost 300 million bucks. It's a lot of coins. Now everybody focuses on Jay-Z. Y'all know I'm for black folks. I'm looking at the group economics of this. And when I posted this on my IG channel, I was tickled by the response, because some people feel that Jay-Z doesn't do anything for the culture, but pimps the culture. I don't know how you arrive at that if you really chronicle his works, but I get it, because when you don't move when somebody wants you to move, or the way somebody wants you to move, you're automatically cast as the outlaw. You're automatically cast as the enemy, so to speak. But again, this move, great. It's a bunch of millions, but what can we learn from it? What can we derive from this? Is that he got together with some of his friends, put some money together, brought something, made it more valuable, right? Tripled its worth, quadrupled its worth, and then sold it. By the way, now Jay-Z is also going to be a board member of Square. Now, Square right now is trading at 218 bucks, right? It's been up. If anybody's been following Square, we talk about Square pretty often on my broadcast. It's been running. Now Jay-Z's on the board. Now Jay-Z has been able to leverage his position to get more power, more leverage, more access. And in my opinion, from his track record, that's a good thing. That means more black folks will be able to be put in positions of power. Again, you might not like all his moves, but I would say if you're looking on the leaderboard, he's got more pluses than he has minuses. All right. But all right, so the time is here, y'all. I've been wanting to talk to this special person for a long time. She's a total beast, y'all. She's a powerlifter, straight up vegan, fashion designer. She's ruling powerlifting like it's crazy. She's a total beast. So today I wanted to bring on Reina, affectionately known as Boricua Reina. She's pro-black love, and she's all about getting to the bag, y'all. So As I bring in our guest today, I want y'all to give her a warm welcome, say hello to her, and show her some love. What's up, Reina?
Hello, hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing awesome.
All right.
Amazing. How you
All right.
doing?
Good. Just getting going today. I think folks are waking up a little late today. We usually have more people in the room, but I'm sure folks will come in as we get going.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time. We've had like kind of sporadic conversations via text, hit or miss, talking about culture. A
Yeah,
lot about Black people. We know you love Black folks. That was
I
part of the reason
do.
why we have you on here. I think that's really cool. But for everybody who doesn't know you, who's Reina?
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I said, for everybody who doesn't know you, just give them a brief introduction of who you are.
All right. So you kind of gave it for me, but I'll kind of try to add more to what you said. So as you said, my name is Reina, and I am a power lifter. I'm vegan. I do a lot of other things. I know I've talked to you about. I'm a VP in wealth management outside of what I do on social media. So I have a lot of people that I try to influence and be influenced by, and I want to make sure that I'm making an impact for my community. I'm an island baby, so I was born in Guam, and I'm Puerto Rican and African, and that's something that I hold very, very close to my heart. Being a Black woman is something that I think is one of the most amazing things that could have happened to somebody, but we also have a lot of responsibility to our culture and to our people, and that's something that I'm very, very focused on, and I make a purposeful attack towards that every day. I also own Reina Ray Apparel, which is what I'm wearing now, and it's my whole living room's my inventory. um, yeah, and that's an African inspired clothing line. And I made sure that I didn't ever veer from my goals and what I'm proud of when it comes to that. So, and then, like I said, I'm vegan. So I have a business where I really help people to go vegan, stay vegan while maintaining their fitness goals. So that's a little bit about me. It's a lot. I'm definitely a multifaceted person, but I pride myself on that.
So I know I'm going to get into a little bit of trouble today. So I'm a big proponent of focus and not doing multiple things, right? But you do multiple things, and I'm actually cool with it because your multiple things all surround you and what you do, right? And so, just to be specific, people are always like, rich people practice multiple streams of income. And I say, no, they really don't. I say they practice focusing on one thing. And when they become rich, then they start to implement multiple streams of income. Y'all let all these MLM people get y'all twisted. However,
Ooh.
with yeah, I try to keep it real. Matter of fact, Christopher's in the thing said, thank you for keeping it real. I try to just keep it real because I'm a former financial services survivor. And you know, it's heavy over there. We see a lot. But if you have multiple streams of income, you have multiple businesses. However, all your stuff revolves around you, what you do, and what you're about. So your food, you have your vegan bay, and the apparel and the powerlifting. And you said you're Black and you love to be Black, right? All of it
Love it.
encompasses that. Like you don't shade away from that. When I get for the MLM people, their thing is like, hey, are you interested in making more money? No, not really. Like, have y'all changed that pitch ever? Like, it's been the same pitch for the last 40 years.
Right.
And so I'm not looking to do something different than from what I'm doing. It needs to be in the scope of what I'm doing. You're
It
doing
needs
that.
to align.
Right.
Yeah.
It's in line. It's in alignment with you. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you. But what made you go after all of these different things?
So one, I've always. I think that being a Afro Latina is one of those things where growing up you don't really understand even what that means. So that was a lot of confusion. But I will say, I remember when Trayvon Martin happened, which I think was 2013 or 20. It was, when the Trayvon Martin situation happened, it completely changed my life. So I'm one of those people that, like, yes, a situation like that had to happen for me to realize that I was not thinking properly about who I am as a person and as an African woman. Um, it's not like I didn't think I was Black. I knew that. That's everyone. It's apparent. But I was more into the fact that, oh, I'm a mixed girl and this. And then I learned more about myself. And that was one of the best gifts I ever had, was learning that I am part of the original people. And that was something that helped me to feel like, okay, I have been taught everything so wrong. So I became more conscious of buying Black. Straight year of, I don't even want to go to Walmart. Like, I was like, I'm in Chicago. So I'm like looking for the little shops. Like, I'm going to make sure I'm putting my dollars with the Black people. And I remember everybody did it for like a month and I was still doing it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to stop. And I still have maintained, okay, I will go to Target. Okay. But I still have maintained like as much as I can to support my people. And that was the first part of making sure that everything I did was focused on us as African people, melanated people, whatever verbiage you want to use for it. In the midst of that, I had gained weight, got a little heavy. So I started working out, and then that's how powerlifting came to be. And I fell in love with C.T. Fletcher and all these other Black powerlifters and Black bodybuilders and people that were motivating me. And I realized I was one of the only curvaceous Black girls in this sector and in this world. I would go to the powerlifting meets and I was the only Black girl, or I was the only Black girl that looked like me, if you get my drift.
I get your drift.
So I started to recognize that this is not something that women do a lot. Women want to be bikini competitions. They want to be like really cute and sweet, and I wanted to go hard. So that was something that made me decide to do powerlifting and also start documenting it. And I documented it through my Instagram, and my Instagram went from like 3,000 followers to 12,000 followers in like 3 months. Wow. Just off of posts. And then just kept going and kept documenting that journey. Won a couple of powerlifting meets, world, national, and state meets and things like that, first place. And that's when I started realizing, okay, this is a platform that I want to maximize on. And I want to maximize on it in the best way, but I don't want to sell out. That's one of the biggest things to me. I never want to be a sell. I don't want to ever get so wrapped up that I veer from what my principles are and my morals are. So everything I did was focused on being an African. And that's where veganism came from. I went vegan because I wanted to be more in touch with myself spiritually and for a multitude of other reasons, but I wanted to understand who I was at my core, which is all the way about who I am as a woman, as a Black woman. And then even the clothing line. If I'm going to do clothes, they need to be aligned with me as a Black woman. That's why it's African inspired. Right. And then the things I do in Chicago, I do Black Talks in Chicago, where we talk about the Black family, we talk about Black love, we talk about feminine and masculine energy. And I literally will have people all across the city come and we talk about these things and talk about how to build that type of generational success between us. So it all aligns.
Yeah, you got a lot. But again, it's all in alignment. But I wanted to ask, what would selling out look like to you?
I feel like, so I remember one time, and I can't go in specific details, but I remember one time where I have my 9 to 5. My social media became a problem. Not a problem. It was investigated. And I remember there was one particular question that was asked. There was a video of me at a Black Talk. It was, it's a Black Excellence Talk, I called it, where I was talking about the importance of generational wealth, not necessarily financially, just we have continuously just every generation has been kind of like regurgitating the same information without any new thought and without any new action. And there's not a strong focus on making sure that your children are prepared to live this life in this world as Black children. And I was just talking about Black people, I'm very passionate about that on my podcast as well. And they were like, so what did you mean by that? And I was thinking, I could water this down. I could water this down and I could say, I just think, I was like, you know what? No, if I get fired for this, I'm going to be proud of this fire. I'll be proud of this. I'll be okay with this one. And I said, I mean that Black people are one of the most oppressed people. And I went all the way there and I felt like good. I didn't sell out my people. I didn't sell out. I didn't try to get white acceptance, which is something that I have a strong issue with. When it comes to the clothing line, I've had people tell me, girl, if you didn't do African prints all the time, you'd sell more. Sorry. I want to make sure that it's very clear that this is for my people I don't care who buys it, but I want it for my people. So things like that is what I mean. Like making sure that every decision is purposeful towards us. Even down to the models I use. I will not use a lot of light skinned women, even though some people think I am. I won't use a lot of light skinned women. I won't use women with a lot of, I won't use non-Black women at all. So those are things that I'm very serious about. I want to make sure that my everything I do aligns with who I am morally.
So for everybody, this is Reina's line, Reina Ray. You can see a lot of her prints. And what really, again, I've been wanting to talk to Reina. We've been kind of talking around each other for years because we're both with Comedic Knowledge, Elijah over there. But I wanted to get this for my wife's birthday, which is coming up. Hopefully she's not watching, so I won't spoil this. But she sold out. So somebody wants it. Somebody likes it, right? So you see her with her prints. You see her and her king there, Maji, who's also a vegan. They do all kinds of videos together eating. By the way, I've been dabbling and looking at cooking mushrooms more because of you. So I got to thank you.
I love it.
This stuff is dope because this isn't the run-of-the-mill stuff that we see on the marketplace for athleticism. I know you're tapped in with Anadra. I always say her name wrong. Anawa. Thank you.
That's my girl. I love her.
Yes, I'm a fan. I'm just going to leave it at that. Yeah. But she's a power lifter. She's a power lifter too. And she's been out here doing her thing. So, I'm glad to see this, and I'm always glad to see different stuff. Don Johnson's in the chat asking what the site is. Don, I'm all about these Black-owned businesses, so of course I'm going to give you all the site. The site is going to be in the chat. It's ReinaRay.com for those who can't watch the screen or not in the chat, but it's Reina Ray, ReinaRei.com. Again, ReinaRei.com. And the stuff's dope. And again, I wanted to get something for my wife. It was sold out. So fashion. You said everybody's telling you that you probably could sell more if it wasn't African inspired, but you're sold out. So apparently somebody's buying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't let people veer me from things that are just, when it sounds like you don't want me to do something that's African or Black, then I stop listening. So
right.
Yeah.
By the way, I see that RBG flag in the background. A lovely thing. I saw that you did a video explaining it because so many people don't know what it means. So many people think it means it's competition with the United States flag and everything else. No, it's not our flag. It's our flag inspired by one of our great legends, one of our great ancestors. And I'm glad you're able to rep for it.
Yes, I have the RBG flag tattooed on me twice. I have it in my car. I have it a lot. So I definitely love the entire concept of Pan-Africanism because it means that all African people are included, and that's a big deal. I think that there is an issue sometimes with understanding that there's more Black people in the world than just in the States. So I think Pan-African flags and the Pan-Africanism really helps to bring everybody together.
So it's funny. I was raised as a Pan-African. I still claim Pan-African. I don't talk about it in that term because a lot of people have a hard time digesting it, which it just basically means that all Black people around the globe who are African descendants are connected some way, somehow. Some people like to add a little extra sauce on it, but that's at the bare bones. That's what it means. So if I see my brother in Jamaica or my sister in Jamaica, I say they're brothers and sisters.
Exactly.
I'll give you an example. The conversation about Black British actors taking American Black actors or Black American actors roles, to me, is totally crazy because it's just about excellence. It's about Black excellence at this point. We don't need to fall into these artificial lines that were drawn in the sand by some Europeans that separate us. We were all on the same boat. We just got dropped off at different locations. So when you can really understand like some of the psychology, sociology, economics that's behind a lot of these moves and why we think the way we think, I think it's freeing. So I love what you said about we do the same stuff over and over again. So I love tradition. I love culture.
Yeah.
However, you got to question it at some point and say, are these traditions helping us in our current state?
I mean, I love that you said that. Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome. I mean, when I think about even soul food, I've had this conversation plenty of times. When I think about soul food, it's a traditional food. It's a food that you grew up with. Moms, grandmas made it, and then all of a sudden you find out the history of why you ate that food. It's like, oh, these were the scraps. Oh, there was nothing else to eat. Oh, we this was all we could do. And although there's beauty in the fact that that actually like kept going down and down generation, now you're learning, oh, that's why I have high cholesterol. Oh, that's why my blood pressure is this way. And then it's like, still gonna eat it. No, like those are things where it's like, okay, let's find another way to live this life where we're still, paying homage to where we come from and that point of life. But if it's no longer serving you, why continue doing it? So that's I definitely agree with that.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and I'm just bear with me for a minute. So we were frying chicken on the continent before we got here, right? But now as we've come here, food has changed. Food has grown differently, right? So you always say, my grandma ate this and they lived to 90 years old, or my grandpa ate pork chops and he lived to be 105. But the food is being grown totally different now. So I'm not a vegan, but I'm a plant-based fan, and I'm working more towards that. So again, I totally appreciate what you and Najee are doing, and I'm glad that you're showing it to be fun, to be family, to be in love. I mean, I think all those things are important. I'm fanboying out. I'm fanboying out a little bit, y'all. So y'all got to bear with me. But let's go back a minute. Powerlifting. Sure. You said you were overweight. You went into powerlifting. You love CT Fletcher. I love CT Fletcher. He's my uncle in my head.
I met him. I freaked out. But yeah.
So for all of y'all, I told you I'm gonna stop cussing as much, but he's got the best motherfucker in the game. And so you got to go watch him to hear that. But what was it about powerlifting? Why did you go so hard into it? Like you said, you're winning competitions. I see you at some of these meets, Black Fitness, what is it? Black Fitness Week, Black Fitness Freaks.
Ebony Fit Freaks.
Thank you, Ebony. Thank you. Yeah. But you're there, you're coaching these ladies and men on deadlift. I know that's your thing, but what made you go super hard on that?
So, like I said, I had gained a lot of weight and I needed to lose weight. And I remember feeling extremely weak with cardio. So I had asthma. And the first day I went to a trainer, it was all HIIT cardio and everything. And I ended up going to the emergency room that same night. And because I had an asthma attack and I was like so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. Like I just was like, what the hell? Like, how can I didn't even want to tell the trainer I went to the ER because it was just embarrassing. I'm like, I'm one of those people that doesn't want to look like, I'm in pain. When I'm in pain, I'll act like, I'll be having a searing headache and I'm just like, I'm good, and I'm not. But it was when I started powerlifting, I did deadlifts first. It didn't take a lot of breath out of me at first, but it was all just my strength without needing my cardio to be up. And I felt stronger and I wasn't as embarrassed by what was happening. And I was like, wow, I mean, okay, so I'm strong and I'm not in pain with my just in general, I'm not in pain. I'm not about to have an asthma attack. I'm like, okay, cool. So can I do this and lose weight? Yes. In fact, it'll help me lose weight faster. Oh, well, I'm going to be weightlifting then. I'll do weightlifting. And then I started looking up on Instagram, like, okay, so where are girls that are weightlifting? Because I don't want to see the guys anymore. I don't want to be shaped like a guy. I want to look at the girls. And then that's how I found powerlifting. And then it just kind of went on from there. But I really fell in love with deadlifts because it made me feel so strong. I felt extremely empowered. I didn't feel weak doing it. I felt like, okay, this is progress. I can work towards something new. And I just kept getting stronger and stronger and more excited about it. So that's kind of how the powerlifting came in. It's more so because I couldn't do cardio. So I still hate cardio, but I can do it now, but I hate it. So yeah.
Right. But you don't just do weightlifting. I mean, you dominate at it, you beast at it. So that's a different mindset than just doing it. I mean, have Have you ever locked in or channeled in as why you're so driven at it? Again, outside of the cardio, hating cardio?
Yeah, I remember my first powerlifting coach. It must have been that need and desire to feel strong, and to feel empowered with that. I remember telling him, and he tells people this all the time. So I remember when you first came to me, and after you did deadlifts, you were like, I want to be strong. I want to be as strong as possible. I want to be strong enough to knock you out." He was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah. Like I want to make sure that should I need to get down with you, I could do it. Like you'll win, but I want to know that I could get you down at least." He was
You
like,
got
"Why does that matter to you?" I was like, "I don't know. I just want to know that I'm like the strongest person up in here." And it was something very like almost like animalistic. I really, really felt that whenever I walk up to a bar, I'd be thinking like, "You're the baddest motherfucker in the world. You can do this shit. You're amazing. You're gonna go crazy. You're gonna kill this weight." And I was like this like little, I don't know, I'm very weird. I'm like ready to like, you know, mess it up. I don't know. It's just something that makes you feel so strong and empowered. You really feel like you are a monster, like you're a beast. And I do think that might have something to do like spirituality, might have something to do with like understanding who we are at our core. And I have a masculine energy, of course. We have, we have both, but I really tap into my masculine energy when I'm doing that. So yeah, I don't
so.
know. I love it.
Were you always like that? Were you always driven?
So driven, absolutely. I think when I was like 7, I was like, I want to be an entrepreneur. So I've always been someone that wanted to be on my own, doing things and being driven. I also was a bit of an aggressive child. So I, was one of those kids that got into a lot of fights as a kid. And I always believe that's because of culture shock. Like I wasn't like that till I moved to Chicago. I moved to Chicago. I was like, it was culture shock. So my mindset was the aggressive route. My siblings kind of went the other route, but I went the aggressive route with that. And yeah, I just didn't. You don't ever want to be like bullied, or you don't want anyone to think that they can punk you, or things like that. And it gets you, riled up. So
Yeah.
powerlifting kind of helps to get that energy into something else, and keep you focused. But yeah, I very much enjoy weightlifting for that purpose too.
Okay. Okay. And so then, did you start weightlifting first and then transition to becoming a vegan, or was it what was the order?
Yes, that was the order, which was also, when I'm one of those people, when I decide I want to do something, I'm going to do it. I have pride in like being a person of my word. So I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. So I remember I said I'm going to do 7 days vegan, and I'd already been powerlifting for about six months at that time. I'd won 2 competitions already, and it was really cool. I was really excited, and I said I'm just going to try veganism for 7 days. And I did it 7 days. I'm like, that was easy. Let me try it again. Let's see. Let's do another 7 days. And then I got to day 30, and I had like this level of clairvoyance. I almost felt like I could like see things. I was like, ooh, I feel very spiritually high. And my coach was like, you can't be vegan and powerlift though. Like it's nice that you did your 30 days, but you can't be vegan and powerlift. There's like one person that's vegan and powerlifts. There's like one person. It's not normal. Like you need to be eating meat. Like you need at least eggs. I'm like, no. Only because he said that. I was like, no, I'm still gonna do it. And I remember I went to do the world championships and with WMPF Federation, and I won first place in deadlifts and second place overall as a vegan. So that was back, I think that was in 2017. Yeah, that was 2017 when I did that. And that came afterwards. I got a lot of pushback. A lot of people didn't believe I was really vegan because I'm a curvy girl, and they just didn't think that you could be lifting that much to be vegan and still look the way you was looking. So it was a lot of conversation with it. So,
But what the fact that he said that there was one person, did that inspire you and say, well, there's one, I can be two? Or what was that? What was that thought process like?
that part actually, I didn't think I thought like that. I more so thought, I don't care if no one's ever done it. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm one of those people. Like, I want to make sure that my words are valuable, and that when I say something, you believe me. And I'm definitely that person in my life. If I say something to my friends, they know like, well, okay, Reina means it. Like, yeah, I'll be there at 7. I'm leaving at 7:15. So they'll be like, okay, they get there at 7:16, and I'm gone. And they're like,
Yeah.
what the heck? I'm like, girl, I told you. I said what I said and I meant it. Like, so I'm just one of those people that really finds value in making sure that if I decide I'm going to do something, I have to do it. Like, I have to. And if I fail, I'll own that. But I have to know that I gave it everything. So I told the man I was going to do it. So now I have to do it. So I don't say things like that unless I really know I'm willing to go all the way in. So,
Yeah.
and the idea of telling me I can't do something also, that always pushes me. So, always.
So, but let's talk about that a little bit more, right? You became vegan after about 6 months of powerlifting.
Mm-hmm.
What did that look like? Were you
So
hungry all the time, and then you had to, because you're weightlifting, it increases your metabolism. So does that get you going even more? Did you have to find a special diet that fit that, or
it's
how
a
did that
great
work?
question. So in 2016, November 11th, 2016, it's very important because I remember the
That's a great
date.
day, by the way.
I know, right? 11/11. I picked it.
It's a great day.
Anyway, huh?
That's a great day.
Yeah. So why is it your birthday or you just like 11/11?
It's my birthday.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait a minute. You said it twice, so there must be some reason. Okay. Um, all right. So November 11th, 2016, I stopped eating beef. So beef was my biggest thing. I absolutely loved steak. And I knew that one day I might try veganism, and I knew that I would need to really make a commitment to let go of beef. And I remember November 11th, I went to Morton's Steakhouse and I had steak. And I remember my friend who was vegan was like, you can't, don't eat. No, just like take it off a little bit. Just eat less beef. I'm like, nope, I'm a cold turkey type of person. Once I say it was going to happen. And so November 11th was the last time that I had beef. And after that, I never had beef again. So I ate all that I could that night. I mean, I went crazy. And I was like, oh, I'm going to miss you, but I got to go. And I moved on from there. So then after that, September 21st, 2017 is when I went vegan. And that first week of veganism, I literally ate beans and rice and okra like every day. So it wasn't necessarily I didn't have a lot of variety.
Right.
But I really enjoyed the beans and rice, so much so, like I really could eat this every day. So I did eat that basically. I mean, I had some variation in there, but I ate that basically for the first week. And then I started having to do some more research and learn for the month. And then I'm a cook no matter what. So I started trying to figure out how to veganize some of the things that I've had in the past. And that's how I transitioned there. I was not eating in a way that would have helped me with powerlifting. I had no idea what to do there. It took for 2019 for me to finally be eating properly, where I was strategically understanding what I was doing to make sure I was getting the right amount of protein in. And that came from Najee, because I would never have known that I had actually been under eating what I needed. But even though I still did well, I probably could have done even better if I had been eating properly with the right amount of protein and carbs and fats and things like that.
So are you getting a lot of your protein from the beans? I mean, because so years ago, I interviewed one of the people that's in Forks Over Knives, and it was a real big
Ooh,
awakening.
cool.
And I realized, because there's this whole protein myth thing, like you won't get enough protein from vegetables. But if you eat your daily intake in vegetables, your daily caloric intake in vegetables, you'll get all the protein you need. So have you found like good combinations where you can get good protein sources, or?
Absolutely. Yeah. So here's the thing. Prior to meeting Najee, it's not that I should correct that. It's not that I wasn't eating the right amount of protein, but for a power lifter, I was not eating the right amount of protein. So
Right.
retaining the muscle part, which is why you need the protein. You want to build muscle and retain it as well. So on a traditional vegan diet, that's not like a junk food diet, you're going to get enough protein, and the protein is going to come from your legumes, which is the beans, the rice, and everything. It's going to come from the grains. It's going to come from other things that you can eat. For example, seitan, tofu, tempeh, things like that. And then there's actual plant-based proteins that people might use to supplement that. But you can get your protein in very, very easily. I mean, just regular food that I make. Like the other night, I made some seitan, which is a wheat gluten. I made some seitan, broccoli, rice, and beans. I had like almost, I don't know, 70 grams of protein in that. It was great. So, I mean, you can really hit your protein without trying, like without really trying so hard. But if you have a purposeful thing that you're doing, like powerlifting, weightlifting, or trying to gain muscle, for women that are looking to get bigger thighs, bigger butts, things like that, men that want to have bigger biceps and bigger backs, things like that, you're going to need to know how much protein you're taking in and if that's going to help you to maintain and build muscle at some point.
Gotcha. So I love steak just like you, or like you used to. That's one thing that I'm like, I know I'm going too best, but I've kind of come to this place where like I just want to be majority plant-based, and I can dibble and dabble sometimes, say 10 to 15% of the time.
Don't let labels hold you back. You don't have to label yourself.
Right.
So that's a big one. Once you label yourself, you have to keep it up.
Right. But I don't like tofu. I don't like seitan. I've tried them all, and it's like, well, what can I eat? And I'm like famished because like I'm still the president of the Fat Boy Club. I'm trying to resign soon, but every time I go work out, I'm like famished, and it's like I don't have any real food in the house. What to do? So how do you keep up this vegan lifestyle? Do you shop in advance? Is everything pre-prepped? Do you do meal planning? Like, how does that look?
So it's a multitude of things. So like yourself, when I first had seitan, I absolutely hated it. I never ate seitan for the first like 2 years of being vegan. I never ate tofu for the first 2 years of being vegan. I was a whole plant-based, unprocessed vegan until Najee came along and ruined me. But
hey, listen, you can't down a brother like that. Come on.
He made me better. So I understand exactly what you mean in regards to that, but I also learned that there's so many different ways of how you can cook and do things that I try not to say I don't like things as much because I thought I didn't like seitan. Then now I love seitan because I know how to make it the way I like it. So sometimes it just depends. But in any case, yes. So at this point, I'm going into year 4. So at this point, my entire world in here is vegan, of course. So I can just come home and eat anything and it's vegan. Right. But being strategic and smart about making sure that your vegan food is available to you or you have access to it is huge for anybody that's vegan, but especially a newer vegan, because what you don't want is to be working out, be famished, home's an hour away, and you're like, you know what, fine, I'll just go to this restaurant. And you're going to an old restaurant that you used to go to, or you're going someplace else. So being strategic, it would be meal prepping and having one of those meals with you when you get done working out, or meal prepping. And as soon as you get home, all you gotta do is pop it into the microwave, or, just having those things prepared is huge. It's essential to your success with your dietary restrictions. So that's definitely something that I do. And we talk to our clients about meal planning, knowing what you're going to eat. And even for me as a vegan, I mean, there's been times where I really have put myself in a situation where it's like, wow, I'm really about to go to the store and eat some the Doritos that don't have cheese in it. Like, because I can't find any food that's not that, I can't, like, there's nothing for me to eat right now and I'm starving, and I'll like eat something processed, but like it's vegan, but I'm not necessarily happy about that decision, so because I didn't prepare myself, and that still can happen to me now.
Right. All right. Well, I know people are probably tired of us talking about weightlifting and food. Tell us about your business, right? Because you said training. Are you a trainer as well? Because I thought you just weightlifted. I know Najee trains. If everybody that's watching, Najee is Reina's partner. Hopefully, I'm gonna put this out there. I would love to have him on one day too, because I love what he's doing as well, and I love what you guys are doing together. But what made you make this a business?
Which part? The veganism?
All of it. Yeah. Because it all goes together. It all kind of fits together.
Yeah. So I don't call myself a trainer. I'm a coach. So I'm a coach. The reason why I say I'm not a trainer is because, for example, like you said with Ebony Fit Freaks, what I do, I host the deadlift parties. They reached out to me, and I had already started doing deadlift parties in Chicago. And they reached out to me and asked if they could hire me to host deadlift parties for them. I said, we know that's like what you do. We love you. Can you do this? So when I go, you don't necessarily see me lifting. You see me coaching, really channeling my CT Fletcher love. So
I see you.
you'll see me coaching and helping, and really helping people to get their form together and helping them to get there, and really like being there, being a cheerleader for them, but also making sure that they're staying safe. And I do the same thing for our clients. So I have a lot of clients that have, I don't know, like 200 plus clients actually online who are focused on transitioning to veganism while also having a body goal. And Najee mostly handles just really the dynamics of how it transitions online and the training side of it. But for the young ladies that are interested in having a more curvaceous body, those are typically the ones that I work with. And we've kind of collaborate together to help them with a plan and help them to figure out what's the best thing to do. Vegan Base started on an accident. It was only supposed to be a guide. It was only supposed to be like a little, 15-page guide. And Najee was just a friend of mine at the time. And he reached out to me and asked if I could promote the guide for him. He said, I really want to start this guide called Vegan Bay and so on and so forth, and, do this. Me being a person that's worked in corporate America for a long time and a negotiator, I'm thinking, why would I work for your business as an ambassador? If you'd like, what would be better for me is for us to partner together and we create something that's a little bit more sustainable, and we can maximize it in that way. And then I'd be very happy to help you if I'm getting 50% of it or more. And I maximized on my platform. So I think actually it was 60-40 at first. It was mostly his, but I was going to get 60% of it. He was getting 40 because, and I just negotiated with him. In fact, I think he ended up offering me like 70-30. I was like, no, we can do 60-40. You're doing most of the work. I had some morals to it. So, but that was it. So it ended up turning into an entire business because of that. It was only supposed to be a 10-page guide that he was going to like kind of throw out for like a couple of months, and that's it. And then at that point, as you can see, at that point, we started working together on building some videos and doing certain things together. And it just kept getting bigger and bigger and doing way better than I think we both thought. And that's when Najee discovered I really can cook. So I started making most of the recipes. And then that's kind of how it ended up turning into an amazing, amazing business that we love.
So is Vegan Bay mainly for women, or is it for both men and women?
So Vegan Bay is mainly for women. And the other one that we have is Built by Plants, which is kind of like the parent company to Vegan Bay, because that's Najee's business. And then I run Vegan Bay with him mostly. So as you see, Vegan Bay is pink. Vegan Bay has all of Reina's pictures on it, me. Vegan Bay is talking about curves and women, fat loss and curves. And with the Vegan Bay Pocket Coach, which is an app that has so many different things in it to help you lose weight, gain weight, get your curves, whatever. But the Built by Plants company is Najee's business, which really focuses on men. So there's Vegan Bro, for example. We have a Vegan Bro recipe meal guide, which is what Vegan Bay was supposed to go to. So Vegan Bay took on a whole new life. But so different things that are specifically for men under the same platform.
Okay, because I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool, because I want to be down. I want to be down.
Yeah, you be Vegan Bro. You'll be Vegan Bro.
Yeah, I got you.
And we do have clients that are not vegan. So we have clients that aren't vegan and are not interested in going vegan. We have clients that just want to become more plant-based, like yourself. And, they don't want to make the commitment that they don't want to be vegan. But having access to more ways of how to even make things. Like some of them want to know how to make vegan cheese. They want to know, like, okay, how do you do the mushrooms thing? Like, how do you fry your mushrooms and get them to look like this and taste like that? They want to understand that so they can just try to, make small changes. And then they also want to maximize on the fitness aspect of it all too.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So you basically gangstered your way into Najee's business. And is that how you gangstered your way into his heart, or did he flip it on you?
Yeah, that's really funny. So I think that it was very interesting. So here's the thing. I was already vegan. I loved deadlifts. I had went through a divorce. It was a lot going on with me mentally. So I was like, oh my God. I was an
Okay.
entrepreneur, and I also, as you know, work, a very strenuous 9 to 5. So,
Mind you, I wasn't going to bring that up at all. You
oh
brought
no,
it.
that's fine to bring up. That part's
Okay.
fine. I talk about at least my title. Fine.
Gotcha.
But I appreciate you for that very much. So in any case, I remember me and Najee meeting, and it was weird. I was like, "Oh, you came to the deadlift." He came to like one of my deadlift parties I hosted, and he like won the deadlift party. And I was like, "Oh wow, like you're really a beast. Look at you deadlifting." And then I noticed his shirt said "Built by Plants." I was like, "Yeah, vegan, right?" "No, I'm vegan." Like, "You're vegan and you like deadlifts?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I know you're vegan. You love deadlifts too." I was like, "The hell is this, a match made in heaven, Lord? Like, is something
Yep.
happening right
You
now?"
took the words out of my mouth.
I was like, and then he's like, and I'm very extravagant. I mean, I'm an extra person, and he's very calm and like just a chill, really chill person. He's like a pit bull that's not going crazy, and I'm like a chihuahua. It's like, yeah, so it's very interesting. It's a very interesting dynamic that I prefer. As someone that has like a lot of energy, I prefer someone that doesn't have a lot of energy. And that's Najee. So we get along really well. And then I found out about his spirituality, which 100% aligned with mine. And then I found out that he's pro-Black, and pro-Black love, which is a big deal too. So we had a lot of things that really aligned well while just becoming friends and getting to know each other. And then, I think it was like a pretty good mutual transition into a relationship at some point. So,
So, and I don't pry. I'm usually not the newsy, but I love seeing Black romantic partnerships that are also business partnerships, right?
yes,
Because if you are really pro Black wealth, you understand that Black wealth can be built primarily through family relationships or
yeah,
family business. And, it doesn't always work. But like I tell people all the time, Biggie lied to y'all or he misinformed y'all. Business and money does mix. It just has to be done with purpose, transparency, and forthrightness, right? And a bit of
yeah,
vision as well. But, sadly, we've been programmed, and I say programmed intentionally, to think that family businesses don't work, especially when it comes to Black folks. It can work. And when you look at all the big families, all the dynastic wealth in some of these families, they're all family related, family businesses somehow, some kind of way. Why can't we do the same thing?
absolutely.
Grandma's fried chicken is still bomb, right?
Yeah,
Somebody can sell it, somebody can bake it, somebody can prep it. I mean, I know when we're talking about veganism, we can kind of flip that, but you
yeah,
can do all kinds of things that are in the family that are dope. I have an old partner of mine whose like great aunt makes like these bomb sweet potatoes. I'm a sweet potato aficionado. I love sweet potato pie. And I think, her pies are better than Patty's pies. No diss to Patty, but y'all should sell these. They never did it. So I wanted to. But you will have real jewels and gems like that a lot of times we won't capitalize on and leverage for the benefit of our families. And I just think what y'all doing is so awesome. So it's
I
dope.
appreciate that. I think that it's a really good concept. A lot of people think about like marriage as a business, which I agree with that 100%, not 100, 90%. The 10% I don't. The 10% of it that I don't agree with is that when you say that, but people still don't actually operate in that. So it makes me not be 100% in it.
But it's
Because it's,
something you said earlier. It's something you said earlier, right?
yeah, sorry.
Oh, how did you say it? You said you wouldn't take all of his percentage, right? Because it wasn't the ethical thing or the moral, something like that. But that's
Mhm.
that's what we miss a lot of times because we've been so Americanized, is that we just want to be kill individuals, that we don't realize that when we kill off our brothers and sisters, that we're actually killing off ourselves. It's just more long term. But
Absolutely.
right, you
Yes.
recognize that and you say, you know what, I want to take care of my brother. And so when we realign, relook at how we say business, right? And we recognize that there should be love inside of
Yeah.
our business and it's not dog eat dog, then you can say, all right, yeah, marriage is a business. It was actually founded on business and control of women, but we gonna redefine it and do it the way we need to do it.
Thank you. Yes, that's basically what I mean when I say, like, if you think about business and you think about it as being like a non-emotional thing, I can't make that decision. I can't agree with that, only because I'm not saying emotionally, absolutely, I have an emotional based business where we're talking about food and spirituality and who you are and your body, and people don't want to put that together sometimes. Really understanding that we're talking about people. It's a people business. All my businesses that I have are about people. So if
Business,
there's, huh?
business is personal.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you understand that, that doesn't mean that, you make emotional decisions all the time, but that might impact you, especially, when you involve like your morals and how you feel. But I would say going into business, being in business with Najee, and then having a relationship. So being friends, business, relationship was one of the best things we could have done.
Right.
Simply because we have a commitment to each other for our business now. So sometimes, oh, we're talking about you. Yeah.
Naji.
So you want to meet Najee, Kamari?
Sure.
Come on in, Naj.
It's not super tight. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Great to meet you. Love what y'all doing. I just told Rain I want to have you on the show too, so hopefully you'll accept my invite.
For sure, yeah. I just
I'm putting you on the spot.
um,
I said I know I'm putting you on the spot a little bit.
I'm down. I actually
He's heard you before. I play your podcast and stuff.
Yeah,
okay.
I was checking out some of your videos and such. I got some tips and things I can implement for sure.
Okay. All right, my man. That's great. We all family now.
So what I was talking about was, because we have a business, it's made us even more committed to each other because we have a business. So there might be times where, we might have like these headbutts, and like you might be thinking like, you know what? I don't even like this man no more. Like, we got business together. We got Vegan Babe. And I'm like, what are we going to do with that? You know what? I'm tripping. I know I love this man. I'm just going to, okay, let me calm down. That sometimes like, and I'm sure maybe it's the same for people with children or something. I don't know. But like, it really helps to kind of recenter you and make sure that you're not making rash decisions because you have something important that you've invested in outside of just like, the relationship can be so emotional, but the business, you're like, oh, like that's a moneymaker. You got to think about these things. And I do think it helps. I think it helps to kind of recenter you sometimes when you're starting to go a little crazy. When in a relationship, it happens. So,
yeah. Right. Because, as a society, we're kind of fixated on the superficial, the physical, the sexual. And, all of those things are good. They're part of being human. But there's a greater thing there, too, when you have, like you said, children and business and like a vision. Y'all can build something together. That means something. It means something.
Yeah. He came in. Yeah.
I need that. I need that shirt, Najee.
You need one of these? I got you, man.
Y'all gotta send me the link so I can buy one. I'm buying.
He's like, I am ready to go. Yeah, you were. You wrote me and you were like, everything's sold out. I'm like, oh, you really went right now. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but no, I'll follow back up because listen. So one of the things, right? So I'm really good friends with Elijah. Shout out to Comedic Knowledge. I love the fact that y'all got the I am sweatshirts in one of y'all videos. But when I help him with his business, and I only talk about this because he talks about it publicly, I understand the struggle, especially for e-commerce businesses, right? So when you say you're sold out, I get it. Ain't no shade there. Like, that's one, it's a great thing. But two, I understand we're running a business and we're talking about reordering and restocking. Like, it ain't no joke. Like, it's work, and you got to put some real thought into it, because if you order some whack stuff that nobody buys, that's money out of your pocket that's not coming back anytime soon.
Exactly. And shout out to Comedic Knowledge. I make it very clear he's my mentor. If I had not met Elijah, I probably wouldn't have known how to do my business. I probably would have went through a lot more issues because Elijah is awesome, but he specifically really helped me to understand what I was doing. Even when I decided to go the African print, he's the one that kind of reminded me, hey, make sure you're branding it. Put your name on the front of the clothes. Put your name on the back of the clothes. Make sure you have this. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. Like, otherwise it just looks like something someone could have got from Amazon. And I really made this myself. I'm like, okay, let me put my name on here. So then that he helped me figure out where to put my logo on my clothes and things like that. I definitely call him my mentor all the time because he really is. He's really helped my business a lot before it even started. 2 years before I started the business, I was already getting as much information from him as possible. I was being an ambassador for him, helping him as much as possible. So I've been rocking with him a long time. I love him. So
yeah, we all, it's funny because I think that same energy, that's why we vibe. Because when he and I first connected, I think I found his page because I'm very, again, African centered with my thoughts, with my philosophy, with my ideology. And he had the Kemetic knowledge. He's got the pyramids, and so we just started talking. And then he was like, "Yo, can you help me with something?" So we hopped on a Zoom call, and I helped him. He was like, "You're not going to charge me?" I'm like, "No." He was like, "Why?" Because I believe in what you're doing.
I
Listen,
love that.
I'm here to make money. Like, please believe I'm here to make money. We should all make money, but I think we also have to be very careful about
Nickel
just
and diming.
what you're saying right now.
Nickel and diming each other.
Thank you. And it's funny you say that because that's a term I actually use. So people, when it comes to taxes, right, they say, "What's your fee?" And they say, "That's a little high." I say, "Yeah, it might be a little high. I'm cheaper than H&R Block and some of these other big box stores. I'm also here all year round. And I don't nickel and dime you for every call, which I technically should because my time is valuable. My time is my most valuable asset. But when I'm doing business with my clients, it's actually an investment into them."
Yeah.
So we all are supposed to invest in one another, and it's not always dollars and cents.
Yeah.
A positive word goes a long way.
Yeah.
You know, if I call you and I say, "Reina and Najee, I need help doing these deadlifts. What you got for me?" Y'all spend time crafting that, right? It's an investment, it's an asset y'all not have, but you probably would say, "Well, Kabari, make sure your feet are in position, make sure you're over the bar, make sure you don't extend your back too much." Right. And I'm not a deadlifter, y'all. I told you I'm a fat boy club.
Kind of like you know what you're talking about, though. Like sounds right.
I'm a student. I'm a student, right? But I'm just saying, like, that goes a long way. Like, so if we sow more seeds into one another, just imagine what we can do.
I
So,
love that you said sowing a seed. I'm a huge believer in that concept of really just planting those seeds so that they're there. So you know we're just kind of accumulating a whole world that is things that we've invested in. With Elijah, for example, he's been very helpful, and I have my business now, and he'll still send me things with Kemetic knowledge, and there will never be a day where I will not post on all my platforms about Kemetic knowledge if I need to, because of what he's helped me with, and that's good enough. And I've talked about this before. I had been a brand ambassador for him and a brand ambassador for another business that's not a Black-owned business, but it was a powerlifting business. And when I started my clothing line, I told him, I said, "Hey, I'm gonna finally start it. I'm ready to go." Thanks, Edith. I'm ready to go. And he's like, "All right, cool. Let me know what you need." And I let the other company know, like, "Hey, I really still want to promote the business. I'm very excited." And they said, "Well, if you're starting your own business, even if it's not necessarily like, you know, in contradiction to ours, you know, maybe we should just part ways." And it was very interesting, the difference in my Black brother and how he responded and a non-Black company. And I mean, it's not even competition. Me and Elijah aren't competition, but they would align. We'd have more of the same demographic of clients, more so than the powerlifting one. So like his clients oftentimes are wearing my leggings with his bras, you know what I mean? Or my bra, you know, my bras with his leggings. Like it happens a lot.
right.
So like me and him actually could be more closer to, you know, obviously he's not my competition, but you know, closer to that than this powerlifting one. And it was very, very, I actually loved it. I was so grateful for that experience because it reminded me, you probably shouldn't be in brand ambassadoring for a non-Black business anyway. They were Latino, they were Latinx owned, but still, like, you know, it really helped to kind of remember that dynamic and understand who my loyalty goes to. So,
I mean, but the ingredient there, right, is the love factor, right? That thing is so powerful when we really are able to tap into it. And like you talked about something, right? Competition is cool, positive,
yeah,
not the negative stuff. So you and Elijah could be competition. Like you made a fire top. I want to make a fire top. Still want to
yeah.
help you your thing, but that's how we see it. Like if we out working out somewhere, and Najee's way in shape, way more in shape than me, but if he's doing 20 push-ups and I'm just sitting on the side, I'm at least try to do 5, at least try to do 6, right? The competition, that positive competition breeds a positive environment and breeds inspiration.
Absolutely.
I'm all for it. Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly. I mean, if you are tapped in the right way, I'll say that. Some of us ain't quite tapped in.
I can definitely agree with that. Definitely agree with that. Go ahead.
It becomes destructive sometimes when you're like overly competitive, but it's like your brother, your sister, right? If again, positive situations, if y'all really love each other, you want to see the best for them. And so sometimes that'll be motivating. Sometimes that'll be a kind word. Sometimes that's a shoulder to cry on. Sometimes it's a push over the bridge, like and jump in. And so as we begin to really get into ourselves, because I love that you said that you got into yourself and what you are and where you come from, we'll be able to do more of that. Y'all, I'm older than all y'all, right? So sometimes I talk to Elijah. I say, Elijah, my son's your age. And I'm not trying to young boy him. I'm not trying to do all that, but I'm inspired by him and what he's bringing and just how mature he is. And so it really makes me feel good to talk to y'all. I don't know how old y'all are, but I'm guessing you're around Elijah's age. I'm going with it. I'm not going anywhere with that right there.
Yeah. 25 is the oldest. 25 is the oldest I could be.
Listen, my grandmother was 39 for about 40 years. So I'm with it.
She probably looked it too. So like go crack.
So what's the vision for y'all? What's the long-term vision for y'all?
For Vegan Bay and Built by Plants, I think that we really want to get to a point where we've streamlined our business and really can touch as many people as possible. Right? Yeah. I mean, I think it's one of those things where our goal is to be able to travel the world and meet other people and experience this world while also still making an impact. It makes me feel good to know that I've helped people transition to veganism. And it makes me feel good to know that we are still impacting people, even if it's at a distance online, to help them with their goals. But maximizing that business where it becomes one of those businesses that's just people just know about it. Like, oh yeah, just go to Vegan Bay. Like that is something that is a huge goal of mine when it comes to Vegan Bay. And really just continuing to have those things. Now, an extra goal would be like having like a cooking show or something. That'd be like, that would be really cool.
You already got a cooking show though. I mean,
yeah, I want like a Black Food Network, like that, and then have my whole vegan life there, all vegan food. It'd be so good. Anyway, go ahead.
Start it.
I will.
All right, I'm with you.
Give me a few years.
I'm here for it. All right. So Tiffany says, I'm bookmarking the site. I will be buying soon. I want to support, no dipping in the savings. Listen, you got your priorities right. So I can't fight you on that, Tiffany. I appreciate you.
I love it. Najee, what do you think about the future of Vegan Bay?
I think everything that you just said for sure. And I think that to continue to be able to help people, one, just get healthier. I think that's like a huge thing within our culture. It's improving the foods that we eat and passing on better habits to younger generation, and then making it cool as well. Because I think that eating healthy has a stigma of boring and lame or not fun and such. But like when you can do it in a way where you see like Reina, the way that she cooks, like everybody loves her food, although it's plant-based. Like that's the stigma comes where it's like, what they say, salad or rabbit food and such. When they see Reina, it's a completely different ball game. She's like changed the whole dynamic of what you think of when you think of like vegan food or plant-based food, turn into something fun. So I think continuing to shape the way that we look at food and the way that we, think about it, the way we think about healthy food and then make healthy food fun. I think that's one of the bigger goals, and to get healthy and to make ourselves, to change the definition of what we should look like as people as well. Like improve, going to like some of the more deeper things with that, but just improving our physique, improving the habits that we pass on to the younger generation. I think that's what's most important. So I feel like we can continue to do that, and then also enjoy the lifestyle that we want. That's the overall goal, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
That works. That works. Any new projects like immediately short term that's coming out?
Yeah, actually, we have certain things we're trying to get more involved with our client base. We have a lot of clients, and we're going to start trying to have more scheduled things where they can participate live with us in Vegan Bay, which is different. Where we have a lot of HIIT workouts that are not just weightlifting, that really some people really enjoy and just need. So we're hiring on people. We're getting coaches that are starting to work with us as our coaches. We're just expanding and really maximizing on those relationships. In fact, we have someone visiting right now from Miami for training. I'm literally doing sales coaching. I'm giving him sales coaching this entire weekend on how to sell our programs and just overall sales techniques, relationship-based conversation, advice-based conversations to, make great sales recommendations to help. So, we're really expanding our business, but also trying to help our clients to get a better experience every day. It's a constant work in progress for Vegan Bay, for sure.
Well, you don't become a VP in a financial services company without knowing sales.
Yeah, I'll tell you, sales is my baby. So I love sales. So it's my favorite thing ever.
So I have a love-hate relationship with sales. There's nothing wrong with sales, because I also have a love-hate relationship with financial services industry. I won't bore y'all. I think you kind of get it though, because when you're community oriented, there's definitely usually a conflict with a lot of these companies. But then you got to find out how to do it. That's why I always make it clear that I'm here to do business. I'm here to make money, but I'm not going to try to sell you anything that's unethical, that's going to hurt you or harm you or damage you.
I 1000% agree with you. 1000%. If it doesn't make sense to me, I'm not comfortable with it. So although I know I'm a great salesperson, I'm a great salesperson because I believe you really, really need this.
Right.
So that's the difference. Now, I've never been a salesperson that can just sell anything to you if it doesn't even make sense. That's part of the sale for me. Like, well, why would you not do it? You just told me that you need this, and this. This is the solution to the issue you have. Well, this is what we need to do for you. Here's the issue, here's the solution. It makes sense. Sale. Yep. And it's, for those types of conversations, that to me is how you do that. When we talk to our clients and they say, I'm tired of starting a program and not being able to finish it. I'm not getting help from my coaches. They don't check in on me. Every time I start it, I just feel like I just fall off after a week or two, and they don't really care as long as they got my money. Okay, well, this is not that. This is going to be this, and this. Oh, I don't know, have to think about it. What do you have to think about? Like, wait, what? So
yeah,
it's one of those things.
And sometimes it might have a slower build, but it's a better build because you're building people, you're building community, and you're not just selling a product. And so I know we're in this flash in the pan microwave era, and everything is kind of get rich quick, but a lot of times it's better to go slow. But it's hard to convey that, especially to a lot of younger people. So, but
I mean, if you want to build, it's almost even like, well, never mind, I can't talk about that. But so but if you want to build a business that's going to last forever, or something that's going to at least get you to a point where you can pass that down to family and children, or if it like this business is going to help to start your real estate business, if this business is going to start another business that lasts, so and that can be passed down, that's what's most important. I think that, like you said, we're in this microwave era where we're just quick, not thinking strategically about how to get to that next part. I'm a chess player, so I'm always talking about strategy. Like, okay, what are we going to do to get to the next one? What will that decision mean? What will that move mean? And what will happen next after that? And I don't think we think that far ahead about how we can maximize on opportunities and build that generational wealth. So,
well, I think that's a great place to end. I don't want to keep you all day. Where can people find your products, your next thing? I've showed a couple of them with Reina Ray, Vegan Bay, Built by Plans, but where would you like to send everybody today?
So you can always go to my social media and get access to everything. So if you go to my Instagram, which is Boricua Reina 7, Boricuareina 7, that will link you to Vegan Bay. That will link you to reinaray.com. And that'll also link you to just overall my life and the things that we do, and Najee and I, what we what we find important to show you guys on social media.
Right. So y'all heard it, y'all. Go on to our IG, Boricua Reina. There it is up on the screen. BORICUAREINA 7. For everybody who's not watching the video, who might be watching the replay on podcast, y'all got it now. So go ahead, check out Reina, tap in with her. You'll see her and Najee's antics. They have a good time all the time. So go ahead and tap in with them. So Reina and Najee, y'all hold on for a minute. Everybody, again, I appreciate you all here. I'm humbled that you were here. Do me a favor, right? Y'all know I'm fighting the algorithms. Share this out with somebody. Share this out with somebody who's looking to get more empowered, who's looking for a little inspiration, who's looking to do something different than what society says they're to do. Y'all know I love bringing in people who are rebels. These folks are rebels. They may not call themselves rebels, but they're rebels, and I love it. And I love what they're doing, and I love that they're being unapologetically back, because at the end of the day, you can sell out and you can get all the money in the world, but how is that actually helping you, yourself, your family, and your community? So until the next time, Kamari Ellis out. I'll see y'all all next time. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.